Pterodactyl here, and this here video is going to be on this Simplecity 2110 that we had got from our friends over there at Lafayette Warehouse, or NWI, you know, the place we got all the manuals and stuff. So you remember seeing this thing? Had 4 flat tires. They seal coated all around it. We went and picked it up. It came with a plow and a mower deck. So they just wanted it gone. So I grabbed it. So I've been sitting out there with flat tires out here at the shop, and I thought, you know what, let me put some tires on it, or some inner tubes in the tires, and that way I can move it around. Well, the front tires were so bad, the only tires I had were these snowblower tires. And I thought, yeah, they'll work good on this since it's got a snowblower attachment. So I put new valve stems in and put some bead sealer on it and put them on. For the back tires, they were shot too. So I had a pair of decent tires that were dry rotted because they're 12-inch rims. So I put inner tubes in there. I wish I had some ATV tires, 12-inch ATV tires. I could have put them on there. So then after I got to roll around, I'm like, well, I wonder what it'll take. See, now I'm talking like you. I wonder what it'll take. This is the voice in my head. This is what it sounds like when I'm talking. I wonder what it's going to take to get this thing running. So the first thing I did is I got my jumper battery that I use, and I hooked it to the battery cables, and I hit the button, and it cranked over. So I'm like, oh, okay, it cranks over. Let me spray some dinosaur farts in the carburetor and see if it'll start. So I sprayed some dinosaur juice in there, and it didn't start. So I go, well, it's probably got no spark. So I pulled the points cover off, which is over here, Mr. Cameraman. So I pulled the points cover off, and I got my points file out, and I filed them. And then I cranked it over and shot some more farts in there, and it ran and died. I thought, oh, wow, so it'll run. So now we need to get fuel to it. Oh, and I checked the oil too. It was about a quart low. So I pulled the cover off, and let me go get the gas tank. It's over here. So, of course, the gas cap was all rotted out, and then I realized, look at this. Look at that. The fuel tank completely rotted out. So that's garbage. And here's the air filter. Look at that. That's crumbling. That's garbage. Fuel line. And the high-speed needle valve was frozen. I couldn't unstick it. So luckily I had a used one. So that stuff's all garbage. So I looked around out there where I got a bunch of junk engines, and I found this plastic Tacumish fuel tank from a snowblower, an old snowblower. The outlet fitting is about here, and the outlet fitting on the old tank was here. So I took my step bit and I drilled a hole in the plate under there. You know, I marked where the fitting hit the plate under there. I marked it, and then I took the step bit and made a big hole and put this fuel tank in there. Fits in there pretty good. It's a little loose, but hey. Then it had regular battery terminals like on a car. So I just ran a new ground wire to this battery. I had a good used battery. And then I cut the other end, had one of those add-on, where you add on the battery terminal for a top post, like car battery. So I took that off and I crimped a terminal on there. And I put new bolts in there. Got the same spark plug. So I took the carburetor off, and sure enough, the needle was stuck in the carburetor. And I had a fight with getting the nozzle out, the main nozzle. So with the assistance of Mr. Heat Gun and some penetrating lubricant, I kept spraying it in there and heating it up with the heat gun. And then I was able to crack that nozzle loose. And I was able to turn it a little bit. And I kept spraying it and heating it with Mr. Heat Gun. And I kept working it. And I've got that special 5/16 32 threads tap, because that's what the threads are in this carburetor. And I chased out the threads a little bit up to the nozzle, and I worked it out, and I was able to get it out. Now, I know they make an aftermarket carburetor for this engine, but I thought, well, if I can get this one going, that'll save me from having to order it, and then I got to wait for the carburetor to come in. So I got it apart, put a new needle and seat in it, because this carburetor had the rubber seat with the little needle on it. It didn't have the needle that had the rubber tip. It had a metal needle with the rubber seat. And I got a bunch of them, because those carburetors with that needle and seat are kind of hard to find. So put the needle and seat in, put it all back together, ran new fuel line, put a fuel filter on it, topped it off with oil. Then the throttle and the choke cable were frozen. Look at them, they're all rusty. They would not move. So again, took a bunch of penetrating lube, sprayed the outsides of the cable, and took Mr. Heat Gun and warmed them up. And then I took a pair of needle nose and I grabbed the shaft right here, because this has got that locking throttle where you turn it to lock it. So I grabbed it with the pliers and I kind of turned it back and forth. I got it broke loose and I lubed it up. Same with the choke. Kind of worked it back and forth. Took some sandpaper to the shaft. Took sandpaper to that. Kind of got that rust off. Kept spraying it and heating it with Mr. Heat Gun. And look, I was very shocked and surprised that I got these cables unstuck. Yeah. Put a new air filter in it. It had a bolt that held the air filter cover on. So I took a regular pan head screw, round head screw with a slot in it, and I welded a washer in there. I ground the washer flat on the one side and I welded in there and made my own thumb screw. So now when you want to get at the air cleaner, you could take it off without having to use any kind of tools. So there you have it. Oh, this knob. There was a knob missing. This is how you engage the snow thrower attachment. So this is a handle knob for like a push mower, so you can fold the handle. Shoot! Sneezing. Allergies are acting up. So I put that on there. Now I can engage and disengage the snow blower. And the belt was loose for the alternator. So I had to break the mounts loose and get a pry bar in there, and I put some tension on there and I tightened it back up. Look, it even has the original alternator belt on there. The Simplecity belt. Did I also mention that this mower, or this unit, this tractor, is from 1967. They probably bought it after that blizzard of 67. We put the hood back on. And there's only one thing else left to do, and that's...
Fire it up! Fire it up! Fire it up!
Shut up! Jeez, don't you got something to do? Go back to work.
What?
All right, switch on. Choke. Woo! It lives again! It lives again! This old piece of crap lives again. So now I'm going to load it up with all its attachments and I'm going to take it to the auction and get rid of it. Because I got no use for this thing. Would be a good project for somebody. I offered it out there, but nobody took me up on it. See? Didn't even take that much to get it going. Even the headlights work. Well, one of them does. But you could tell that somebody moved some of the stuff here. I think it originally might have had a key switch here. But it does have this ammeter, and the ammeter works, and it is charging the battery. It's got a start button. So, I don't know. This is the headlight switch. I think somebody might have moved stuff around. But it lives again. It lives to see another day of snow and grass. It lives again. Well, if you like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you don't like it, don't go watch something else. I don't care. And I'm joking. I'm joking. Follow me. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. With your junk-free tractors that you got resurrected and got running again. Check out our web store. We got all kinds of stuff. Like this t-shirt. Check this out. You know where this would look good? This would look good on you. And your whole family. Get them all a shirt. Check out. We got other stuff there. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo! Resurrected it from the dead. It lives to mow another day. All right, let me get rid of your spare parts. There's no fixing that tank. That's garbage. It's going into Nicky 6, scrap barrel. Nicky 6, scrap barrel.